Okay, artistic nightscape now. We're only 3 notches down, 3 left, 2 down the colour grid, you know, dynamics on low, resolution high, usual thing. I'm just thinking these two settings, artistic nightscape and the subsequent clear nightscape, I got the impression when I was down in that valley, those are the ones I maybe should be contemplating using when I'm in a sort of darkened valley area sort of thing. So in future, if I go back to the Valley of the Orchids, yeah, terrestrial native orchids, don't contemplate tropical stuff here, fellas. Yeah, I don't think you want to do that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we've got to negotiate this, don't we, down sideways or something, and it's probably going to be even worse than it was last time because of the, yeah, I think it's just a case of considering how wet and mushy it is down there, we don't want to really break a leg and spend 6 or 7 or maybe 2 months off just mending a leg and then getting back into walking just as the season is ending. But of course we'll miss out on all the Mount Compass. Still would have liked to have gone to Mount Billy to look at the wittigreis out there and anything else out there, but I don't think it's going to happen this season either. Maybe I just need to get a couple of Churchill scholarships sort of thing, but I think that will depend on actually cracking the well, showing that soil bacon is along the right roads of the answer sort of thing, and then maybe they'll say, okay, develop this as a Churchill scholarship, but on the side we'll give you 3 others to go and do these other things, you know, go and look at the termite mounds and whatever over in WA, whatever takes your fancy sort of thing, you know, because we know when you spot something it's going to be something interesting sort of thing, you know, considering your past sort of thing, you know, and you know, you can see how interesting, you know, you got the vision of 1,000, you know, the Battle of the Beams sort of thing, the vision of 1,000 miles sort of thing. You can actually see the end of the journey before, you know, but you've got to take the 45 years to get to the end, even though, you know, you saw it all those years ago. You could see I mean, maybe that's what it was for the bush. You know, the bush said, you know, he'll do, you know, he'll either get the answer or you'll die trying, basically. Maybe that's what the bush said, you know, he can see it. So therefore, because he can see it, he'll either get the answer or die trying. And that's the sort of chap the Aussie bush, you know, likes or calls upon sort of thing. Yep, he'll do. Yeah, he's the one, he can see it, you know. He can see there's something amazing going on in the Aussie bush and we can actually work it out. You know, go from bushfire to getting it working in a pot, going from changing fertiliser to match it sort of thing, working in a pot, to actually nailing down the active ingredient and, you know, coming up with a slightly varied new fertiliser sort of regime for Australian natives and other related plants based on what goes on in the real world that's been developed over hundreds of thousands of millions of years of flora that grows under these sort of bushfire conditions sort of thing. Maybe that's what it's all about. Maybe that will earn you a Churchill scholarship, and as I said, they'll chuck in another 3 just to keep you happy along the way as you know, type it all up sort of thing, and you know, saying, well, you know, you got to keep your spirits up somehow.